Happy Halloween, everyone. I thought today I would talk a little bit about trick-or-treating and Halloween and motivational interviewing. Why is this? Because it gives us a little opportunity to talk about utilizing motivational interviewing. So, what do you think of when you think of Halloween? I'll tell you what I think of. I think of candy. I think about my kids who have been practically vibrating with excitement about Halloween for many months. And I think about what I want for them versus what they want for themselves. So a couple of tips here, because when I think about, can I use motivational interviewing to try to get my kids to eat less Halloween candy perhaps? I have 3 tips for you related to motivational interviewing around this. Number 1 is we don't use motivational interviewing to get people to do what we want them to do. That's manipulation. I could choose a more directive style of conversation with my kids and say, here's the limits for candy, this is what we're doing, because I'm their parent and I can do that. Motivational interviewing is something that we use to help someone make a change that they are wanting to make. So really, I can't use motivational interviewing to get my kids to eat less Halloween candy unless that's a goal of theirs. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is we must have a change target in a motivational interviewing conversation in order for it to be motivational interviewing. What is it a person is wanting to change? Should my kids decide that they wanted to eat less Halloween candy, which is not likely to happen, then that would be the change target, to eat less Halloween candy. When someone is feeling ambivalent about something, to eat more or eat less, right? Then that is what we use motivational interviewing to target, to help resolve that ambivalence, to help build momentum in the particular direction around change. Point number 3 is once we have that change target, then we listen for change talk versus sustain talk. So these are the 2 sides of the ambivalence, to change or not to change, to gorge on Halloween candy or to eat less or none of it, right? Once we know, right, what that change target is, then we're listening for those 2 sides of change talk or sustain talk. And in this case, motivational interviewing, we would use some questions that might elicit what it is they're wanting to do, potentially eat less Halloween candy, such as, what concerns do you have about unlimited Halloween candy for yourself tonight? And my kid might say, I don't really have concerns, although last year, my tongue had sores on it and I had a tummy ache by the end of the night. That's change talk. Then I might reflect to them, you're interested in doing something differently this year so you don't feel so bad after you've eaten a bunch of Halloween candy. Then I might ask a question more evocative of change talk, like, what ideas do you have about how to moderate your candy use a little bit so you're not feeling so crappy at the end of the night? And then we might move forward in making a plan. So that's my playful way today of talking about motivational interviewing, not as a way to get people to do what we want them to do, but for them to resolve their ambivalence, the need to have a particular direction, a change target in the conversation, and then what change talk and sustain talk are, and how in a motivational interviewing conversation, our goal is to build that strength and momentum of the change talk. I hope you all have a safe and wonderful Halloween.